Hi guys, PLO Warrior. Today I'm playing PLO, as you probably guessed. It's quite an interesting game so far. We've got a player who I had marked before as quite tight, generally like ABC player. He's playing pretty crazy at the moment, and he's on all my tables. It's this guy here. He used to be ABC. I don't know if he's like tilting or... I mean, he's not playing terribly right now. He's just playing probably 3 times looser than he used to. So it's going to make for some interesting games. So I thought I'd record it. I have a lot of PLO videos on here already, but I figured there'd be a lot of action in this video, so you'd probably want to watch it. So many draws missed when on the right with my King 4-7. I'm really tempted to call him. I mean, he can be bluffing with 2 pair, so he can, he could have like 4 deuce. Obviously, he'd be winning. So there's just so many draws that missed on the flop and the turn. I'm gonna fold. I'm gonna start out playing tighter, obviously. Nothing wrong with that. Start of the session. There's no point playing too loose straight away. I like to play tighter at the start. If I get raised on this board, it won't make much sense, to be honest. I mean, yes, we have a jack in our hand, but we can have a set of aces quite often, so wow, and he does raise us. I don't expect him to have, obviously, aces. I really don't like this situation, but the way he's been playing, I'm gonna shove it in. He can have a jack himself, obviously, but it's going to be unlikely he has ace jack, so it's just a cooler. But I mean, I don't think that would be a spot that he would be bluffing, as you know, we can have a set of aces a lot of the time. So I don't love my move, but I don't expect him to have ace jack that often. So, we'll be getting in slightly behind. There is a small chance, obviously, he could be bluffing with a gut shot and a heart draw. If, obviously, I hadn't had this tell on him that he's been playing so crazy right now. If he was playing like he used to play, I would obviously be just folding there. I'm going to 4-bet my ace, queen, queen, deuce, because this guy's been 3-betting so much. Pretty gross flop though. I'm actually just going to check fold that flop. I know it's not that, it shouldn't hit his range that often. Like, I expect him to have a higher rundown, like the 10 jack queen, 9-10 jack kind of hands, but I'm just going to give up on that board. If it was like obviously 8-6-6 or 8-5-5, then obviously we're getting it in, but 5-6-8 with a suit, you can definitely be forgiven for folding. And top right, we're going to 3-bet him with our double suited queens. We're obviously looking to play bigger pots with him. We're just going to fold this flop. I mean, I called a 4-bet, that he's 4-betting like mad, so I'm hoping to flop a flush draw and a gut shot or something, or but not so good. Flop. Well, hopefully he 3-bets us now. The game's just crazy. I mean, it's daytime here. It's not even... The games are normally more crazy in the evening and the night time, obviously, so... Well, we get to 4-bet our aces. Not the best flop in the world, but half a pot size bet left. Obviously, he outflops us. but you know, that's poker. It's unfortunate. And top left table, obviously we're going all in. And he's outflopped us there too, but we managed to get there on the turn. We 3-bet our ace, king, jack, queen, obviously. Not a great flop for us. I'm just going to bet fold. Just bet like 18 and fold to a shove. Quite a bad board. If he has a pair, and he can have like a pair of eights and a flush draw or something. Obviously when he calls, I don't expect him to have a pair of eights and a flush draw. I'm actually going to shove this turn. I think he can fold a flush draw. I wasn't planning on shoving a turn, but if he has an 8, normally he'd shove the flop because he'd have something to go with it. So I expect him to just fold his flush draw or his, like, you know, pair of 5s and a gut shot and stuff like that. So I think we have a profitable shove there anyway. It wasn't my intention to shove the turn, obviously, but I thought that was a good card to do it, so I went ahead and shoved it. We're getting aces like every other hand, which is supposed to be a good thing, but it's not really working out too well at the moment. With our double suited jacks, we're going to call against this guy. He's also pretty active, so it's nice to flop a set. And we're quite deep, but once he bets pot, I don't think he's going to fold, so I'm just going to raise and get it in. He could have a wrap. He does have a wrap. He gets there again. Unfortunate. It's not going to be my day, is it? I told you it was going to be fast and furious. Oh wow. And we're going to just fold our 7s, I mean our aces, our 7s. This guy to be bluffing here would be a bit strange. So obviously we're beat. Unfortunate. These are the games you want to play though. I mean, you crave this action if you're playing Omaha, so you know, can't cry when you lose. Just trying to fill up another table here. I'm on the waiting list for the game. Might just sit here and see if anyone joins. Gonna open against this crazy dude. He's probably gonna 3-bet us. Yeah, just trying to keep it tight and aggressive. Obviously, I don't want to overdo it with such loose games going on. It would be a mistake. I can defend. Getting like 3.5 to 1 with a pair and a nut suit, so we can call. Going to check back on the bottom middle table with my jacks. I don't like. It's a very dry board, obviously, but two-way. It's too easy for them to have a straight draw or just even a king, and I don't expect them to fold any king on that flop. So I just save myself c-bet, just check fold. Might check raise the turn as we pick up a gut shot with our I might just call again. I don't expect him to have. He's been double barreling a lot. I'm just going to bluff the river. It looked pretty stupid that I probably missed my heart draw to him, but I don't want to raise a turn and get re-raised off if I have any equity at all, which I probably don't because he's probably only going to raise me the full house anyway, so could have just raised fold the turn, to be honest, like I was going to. I'm just going to donk into this guy when I flop the nuts, because obviously we're playing quite aggressive against each other, so there's no need to slow play it. I'm just betting big the whole way, hoping he pays off with a straight or an 8 obviously. He fortunately folds the river. Yeah, I mean, it would have worked obviously. You don't have a jack, but so would have raising the turn. Gonna see bet my. I mean, we're only heads up against this guy. We've got position on him. Got the King of Hearts blocker, which is a little bit useful. Just taking his time. Certainly going to bet fold on the flop or just turn the nuts, which is nice. I've got no reason to be betting small on these tables. The action is fast and furious. Hoping to get paid off by a lower straight, obviously. If he has a busted flush draw, then you know he's not going to call anything, so might as well bet bigger. Yeah, and he did have the 8-9, so got max value there. I think this guy seems to calm down a little bit now. That's why I'm going to open my King 5 deuce 6. So I would just fold it because he's been 3-betting so much, but he seems to have calmed down a little bit. But as I say that, he 3-bets me, I'm just going to fold. I might leave this table and join another one. Or I might rejoin with position on him actually. There is no other tables going. Yeah, it's going to be cheeky. Get position on him. If he wants to carry on 3-betting me so much, I'd rather he'd do it out of position against me. Oh, we actually have position on him on all the tables now, but that's not really helping our cause. We seem to be losing quite quickly, but you know, if you've got the nuts, there's nothing else you can do. Just get it all in. I'm going to check this board with top pair. I don't want this guy to check raise me when I have some outs to make a strong hand. I 3-bet the ace king queen 3 obviously. No need to bet that big on this flop, just like 2/3 pot or something. Well, I could probably get away betting 11, but that's fine. Bottom middle table, I have to check fold obviously. I don't. This guy seems to be very active. You know, I'd c-bet the flop with a decent flush draw most of the time anyway, so I'm not going to get any credit by trying to do something stupid there. I'd obviously c-bet a set as well, so it's hard for me to have a full house or a flush really. Double suited jacks, pretty troublesome hand. You see, I folded the 10-10 5-6. A lot of people that are just starting to play PLO think that that's quite a good hand because you know it's got the 5-6 suited and it's got pocket 10s, but in reality the 4 cards working together don't work that well. I'm just going to flat with my aces because that's pretty terrible. Flat with my jack high flush also. Not strong enough to raise really. This guy is generally quite tight too. It's fairly obvious we're winning now. I can go for a value bet. I mean, small chance you could have like the queen high flush, but I very much doubt that. He's quite a tight guy, so you could have it some of the time. We checked back the flop with the aces, which I think was a mistake. Should have bet the flop really. Now we give this guy, although he is pretty tight, he's got like 11% VPIP. He could be like donking here with obviously picking up a draw here, but I think I'm just going to obviously give it to him. Nice flop on the top middle table, obviously, flop the nuts. We're only going to get action from an ace anyway, so, and the ace has quite a lot of equity against us, so bottom middle table, flop trips, easy enough to say, and top left table we get 3-bet, which is good for us. We've got a nice rundown. Pretty brutal flop. You know, I usually just fold, I mean, but we only need just over 33% equity, so I don't know, I'm going to go with it this time. Got some backdoor draws, so you know, hopefully we can suck out for once. And we do manage to suck out, so it's okay. I mean, people just flop a pair in a 3-bet pot, you just like get it in, but I think doing that all the time is gonna cost you money. Yeah, we had exactly 33% equity, which is pretty funny, so tiny bit of a losing play, but I had the backdoor flush draw and stuff, and obviously backdoor straight draws, so when you're facing a shove in a 3-bet pot and the stack to pot ratio is like 1 or just a bit over 1, then obviously if you just have an absolute dry pair with no redraws, no backdoor flush draws or anything, then you know, you can fold sometimes, but having backdoor draws definitely helps. I'm gonna c-bet the turn with the, because I pick up a flush draw with my wrap, and it's a scare card. If he doesn't have king queen, king 7, I think that 10 is actually a very bad card for me. I can't see what hand he'd be having to just be folding this river card. The 8-9's got there. There was only 4-5s on the flop that missed, but I mean obviously we have 4-5. He just had a pair of queens, a pair of aces. I'm just going to check back on the top left. I turn the nuts, but I'm just going to obviously trick him hopefully. He seems to be quite active, but not as active as this guy obviously. So don't expect him to have a set, obviously. He raised the flop. More likely he has a he either has obviously a weaker flush than ours, or he's just completely bluffing. So I'm just going to call and play it all goofy. Just going to like bet the river. If he has a bluff, I don't think he'd bet again anyway. If he has a smaller flush, he might just think the line that I've taken is a bit strange and, you know, look me up. Obviously I could just raise the turn, but to do that all the time, you know, you've got to mix your play up. So he did end up paying us off. Okay, he had the king high flush, so maybe we could have made more money by just raising the turn, obviously, but you know, on the other hand, you could have like a 5 high flush and just be betting the turn, and if we raise him, then he has an easy fold, so it works both ways really. Flop bottom set on king jack 4. I'm just gonna build the pot straight away. There's no point slow playing on these tables at the moment. Well, there is, because they are quite active, so I'd take that back. But I mean, they're very coolly, so it's better just to be the one betting. I'm going to 3-bet the rundown. And I regret c-betting my kings. Oh no, I donked my kings, I think. I didn't actually realise that, I wasn't paying attention. I'm just going to fold. I thought I was the one that raised pre-flop. We get cold 4-bet on the top left table by this guy, and obviously the gap at the bottom is better than the gap at the top, so I think he has aces like 90% of the time, so we have to call and we have to get it in on his flop. We've got backdoor draws and stuff, so no, he had kings, so bad turn card for us anyway. What are you going to do? Hopefully I'm getting better at live commentary now anyway. You know, I was inexperienced, well I still am relatively, but just trying to make good videos for you guys. I don't want them to be boring, you know. This guy donks into us. He doesn't donk that much, 15%. I just can't really call with this guy behind me. It's just like easy fold really. Obviously turn the king, but I think that still probably drawing pretty thin, as they probably can have a straight. They both have the straight. Unfortunate. Nice flop on the top right though. This is a time where I'm going to try and bet on the smaller side. I've got 2 backdoor flush draws, there's 4 people in the pot, and I would normally fold this ace 8, 8, 9, but this guy's 3-betting 15% of hands. Obviously not very nice to have an ace in your hand and a pair, so I'd normally fold. Against a tight player like who's 3-betting 5%, 6%, something like that, then I have an easy fold. Get it all in. Top right table, it's not a great turn card, but we have the flush draw also, so we can't be folding. And bottom table he has 3 pair, so we win a nice one. Yeah, when you have top set and a flush draw, you know you're gonna have like 40% equity on the turn against a made straight, so you can't be bet folding or anything. Obviously get it in. It's unfortunate if he has 4-6 or ace-4, but you know, what can you do? Just unfortunate. Very unlucky. Yeah, well, we have 42.5% equity, so you know, that's poker, folks. Swings and roundabouts so far. I have to find another game to play. I mean, this is fun, but trying to make money out of it, I don't know, maybe it's not the best form of poker for me. Maybe I should concentrate on sit and goes and MTTs. I know they're quite high variance also, but I have quite good success with them in the past. I think my brain is more tuned towards that kind of poker than cash games. I 3-bet the ace, king, jack, 6. Is a little bit aggressive. Having the king of hearts in our hand along with the ace of hearts is not so great, obviously, because no one can make a king high flush draw, which is where most of the money is going to come from. So I'm going to bet, yeah, 18 I think if I just bet more, there's no reason to bet more anyway, but this guy's going to be less likely to play back at us. So, and this guy, I've seen him mess around on a paired board quite a lot recently. So I'm actually going to check jam this turn. Obviously we pick up the flush draw. If he has a full house, then yet again we'll just be unlucky, but I'm just going to check jam the turn, as I think he's going to bet most of the time. If he has anything, like, I think he's just floating, because I've seen him a few times today. He's been calling on paired boards, so, and just messing around, and hasn't got to showdown that much. So I have an easy shove. I mean, there's 96 in the pot, and we're risking like 140, so it's only a bit more than what's in the pot. So, and I think most of the time he's bluffing. The argument is, obviously, I could just flat call. I'm never folding the river, so I think the better way to play it would be just a flat call there, if I think obviously he's bluffing, and get him to bluff the river, because he's not going to call us with a bluff here. We're never folding our hand, so that would have been the better way to play it, to be honest. If we're never going to fold the turn or the river, we should get him to bluff if we think he's bluffing, right? Yes. Well, it's important to analyse your own game. If you can, then that's obviously a big advantage. Not everyone can spot things straight away, how they should play certain spots. I mean, I'm not claiming to be the best or anything, but c-bet the top pair, obviously, because we 3-bet free. Pretty gruesome. You could be obviously check raising a flush, but there's no other draws on the flop. So, I mean, he could even just have a better queen than us. I'm going to fold. He doesn't check raise that much. You know, just trying to keep it a little bit, not go completely crazy. Nice to flop quad kings, but it's going to be tough to get paid, obviously. It's unfortunate. I'd rather just flop trip kings and get sucked out on. Never mind. Wow, this is crazy. I'm getting so many hands. Not seeming to win much, but flop top middle set on top right. Obviously it's quite a bad board with all the broadways, 10 jack queens, 10 jack kings and diamonds and hands like this, but we're obviously c-betting, so it's all good. Just going to bet on the bigger side as well. This guy's pretty coolly player. This guy plays 46%, same as this guy. So if they have any flush draws or anything, they're going to call a bigger bet. No reason to bet on the smaller side against these guys. Well, if he has a busted flush, he's never calling a river bet, so might as well shove, hoping he looks me up with ace, with just like an ace king or something. Bottom right table, we have a gut shot and bottom pair and a queen high flush draw. Quite interesting. This guy's pretty tight though. I'm actually just going to fold a turn. And the kings, I don't really like calling. Actually, I can call. I'm getting some good odds, as the other guys called as well. So we'll play it for set value, basically, or try and flop queen 10 with some other stuff. Pretty tricky flop here. I mean, I'm actually just going to fold. He's not, you know, he's quite a tight player. I have quite an easy fold on that flop anyway. If he doesn't have aces, he can easily have a run down with a queen in it, and if he has a queen in it, probably has the hearts with it. So flop the nuts again, bottom right, This guy is not that loose, so I might call. No, I'm just going to fold the bottom left table. Tempted to look him up, playing the first hand against him. I expect to get messed around on this board where I've got aces. Pretty terrible card, obviously. Worst card in the deck for my jacks. Straights get there, flush gets there. Just going to check back. He's a tight player. I mean, I don't expect him to be turning Jack 8 or Jack 6 into a bluff here, so I think we can easily get to the river once he doesn't bet the turn. Okay, he had Queen 10, Queen 10, 10 for a double gutter. Might just sit out on this table. I mean, I wanted to start another table, obviously, because I was only playing 5 tables. But I don't know. This guy looks like a reg. I haven't seen him much, but I think he's just started playing on iPoker. So there's probably not a lot of money to be made playing heads up there. Going to defend with my 7s against him though. I'm going to flop the second nut straight on the bottom middle table. It's not a flop I wanted to get too carried away on, but I think we can bet because we have the 4 blocker. And he called us with aces on the river. It's pretty shocking. Interesting to note he didn't raise with double suited aces, but we've only got 7 hands on him anyway. I was going to say his PFR is very low, but too small a sample size. Okay, we have another table now, so I might sit out on this table and replace it with obviously 6 max games, because this guy is on these games a lot better. I'm definitely going to have to make a second part of this because the action seems to be pretty crazy at the moment. Queens I'd normally fold to an open, but as this guy's called, obviously 250 to win 8. Pretty nice odds. The Queen 9 can make some straights, and obviously you have Queen high hearts. So if it was Queen Queen deuce 3, probably fold, but I'd probably actually still call, just because they're paying off a bit too much on these tables. Very borderline hand with the Ace Jack 6 9. I'm actually just going to limp. I don't think I've ever limped in my life. I mean, they might give me some respect, or these two might think that I've never raised in my life, never limped under the gun. But I don't know, see how it works out. It can't be terrible to have a under the gun limping range. Not an ideal flop. I mean, we're hoping to hit really one of our flush draws and stuff, not really, you know. I'm going to call because he only bet half pot. We have a backdoor flush draw. And we 3-bet the 5, 6, 7, 8. And 8-high flop, we're going to c-bet, definitely. I think we could be winning with the Ace Jack here. No reason to bet though. Obviously, he could have an overpair, but yeah, he has the aces. That's fine. Trip aces, pretty terrible hand. If I just cover that up, we just play the ace, ace, deuce. Not sure if I want to cold 4-bet or not. I actually think I'm just going to call. Can only get 25 in. This guy is probably not going to fold to the 4-bet. And interesting flop. Probably check jam here. Obviously, higher wraps can have us in a bit of bad shape, but I have to start betting now. Obviously, if they pick up a diamond draw, I expect them to be calling. Wow, I think his most likely hand could be a set of kings here, and by betting we've put ourselves in a pretty awkward spot, to be honest. God, it's pretty gruesome. And we have the 5, obviously. So we've got 9 outs to the nuts, 10 outs, and then we got 3 out. We've got 13 outs probably to win, I'd say. And like 13 outs, not really enough. I mean, if he has more money behind, we can call, obviously. That was pretty bad. I mean, obviously we wanted to check raise the flop. Nobody bet, and we bet to take the hand down. We didn't really expect to get it raised. I really think he can have a set of kings. It's quite a likely hand, or a king with diamond draw, which we're doing. Obviously we're beating. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Would you get it in there? This guy is not that aggressive, to be honest. Yeah, he's not that aggressive. So I think the worst hand he's going to have is a pair of kings and a diamond draw. Was the diamonds on the flop? No, clubs are on the flop. Yeah, yeah. So definitely, worst case scenario, he's got king and diamond draw, in my opinion. We get 3-bet with our sort of rundownish type hand. This guy 3-bets like 14%. No, definitely cool. No dice. We're going to 3-bet this hand for sure if this guy opens. I find it strange that he doesn't c-bet this flop. I think he might have really hit it. I mean, if he does have aces, I don't really expect him to check that flop. I don't expect him to fold to our bet either, really. I'm just going to check because we have a lot of backdoor draws we can hit. Obviously we hit one. It's interesting whether it's a bet or not now. I think we shall be betting. Yeah. And bottom right, flop a nice. Wow. Okay, so I think I was right then. I think he does have aces of spades. It's pretty gruesome. I think we have too many outs to fold now though. If he has aces of diamonds, it's terrible. But I think he might have been slow playing the flop. But I think aces of spades, we have to go with it. If he has that hand. Okay, he has a rundown. He has a similar hand to us. Unfortunate, he gets there on the river. Put ourselves in quite an awkward situation again there, but once we bet, I can't see how we can fold there. I mean, that makes sense. Obviously, he didn't want to bet the flop and get raised. He only had a jack-high flush draw, but like I said, I don't think we can get him to fold the flop. Like, he either has a very strong hand, like aces of spades, which he's going to slow play, or yeah, he has a hand. If he has complete air, basically, I expect him to be c-betting that flop, you know. So I expect that he had some showdown value. That's why we didn't bet the flop. But unfortunately, we got stacked again. Very close on the turn. I guess we were winning. I mean, he had a wrap, but we had a higher kicker with our, yeah, I mean, it was 60-40 to us, so we got our money in good again. I mean, the worst, a hand, yeah, I'm overthinking it a bit, but I guess Jack 10, even against Jack 10 we have a lot of outs, because we have the king, we had the gut shot, we had the flush draw, so yeah, we were never in bad shape against anything really. Couldn't be folding the turn. Just unfortunate again. Okay, well that's going to wrap up this part of the video. After I flop the nuts one more time, it's going to be betting big on this draw heavy board. I'm definitely going to have to make another video here because this action is too crazy. Going to be still see betting very big because there's so many draws on this board. Not a great turn card, obviously. He can have 9-10 or ace-10. Obviously, it's just whether he'd turn a flush into a bluff or not. And I don't think he... Well, obviously he could do that, but he's not that aggressive. I don't expect he could have like 9-10 with hearts. He wouldn't raise that hand, or ace-10 with hearts. Yeah, he wouldn't raise that hand either. Most likely, the nut flush draw, which is ace, and he's gonna have a 10 with it. So, I mean that card was better than a heart, obviously, but I think more than likely he has a hand like the nut flush draw with a 10. Okay, that wraps up the first part anyway. Thanks for watching, guys.